Hi everybody, this is Gary Dean with Sentiment Timing, and this is our technical video report for Thursday, February 12th, 2026. So I'm actually doing a combination of both the video report and the full report. I'm really sorry. I've been slammed every single day in trying to run the fund and the trade room and get the software all ready, and so I do apologize. It is coming to an end, so I'll be able to get everything back out. So what I've been saying with the VIX, when it was here, we had these buy signals. I said I was not comfortable with the market breaking out because unless we were going to see it when we had zero interest rates, where it just stayed down low forever, we were going to get a volatility spike. And this was the line that I put in the sand here. I said, I do believe that we're going to test this area first. And if they go higher, then we're going to come up to this level here. I don't believe we're having one of these. This was the tariff tantrum and everything that went. I think this was the tariff tantrum. But in any case, we made it right up to that line right there. It closed up 17%. So we are seeing some fear in this market. And again, the thing that I'm saying is we're not even 4% away from the highs. So people just aren't used to seeing any kind of drop in the market. And that's kind of what needed to be done to shake some of these people out. So the VIX is, I don't, if it gets up here, it will probably be by our, the 17th, which is not too far away, 17th and the 20th. So this was the great reset that I've been showing you from the software that we have. But now, so if it does, it's going to have some kind of spike and we're going to have a big washout. And I'll show you how that may make sense with everything. So this is the, it's so hard to do this with this. All right. Sorry. Okay. So here's the put call ratio. I said, again, when you have the VIX and everything down here, and everybody's just buying calls, you have to be skeptical on the market. It's just something that I've learned in the 30 years I've been doing this. And here's our spike right up to this low that we made here. So we're still up here. That's what I'm saying. Fear is just huge right now, and it's I'm trying to figure out what it's all about. But every sector has been getting dumped on, especially I can't even say it right here. The technology. So nothing really to see there. That's the our NIAD. But this is the S&P on the weekly chart. And remember when we were here, I said this is where I thought we were going to go. We came in within spitting distance of my of the 715. But this is the part that's showing me that don't be too complacent. Do I think this is the top? Absolutely not. I think we're going to be a lot higher than there by August. But is it going to be a runaway train? No, we're going to have some type of blip like this. And again, going back to the software, August 10th and 12th, we're looking for the yearly top on it. So that kind of makes sense with that. But again, we have some time, so there's nothing we have to be worried about. Taking a look at the S&P on the 60-minute chart, this is a full retrace from here, and this has happened each time. So we're getting this massive move up, we're pulling back, massive move up and coming back. So we're really trading within this range right here between the 7,000 and the 6786. Now, I think this is going to go a little bit deeper, and I think it's probably going to come down to the 6740. And there's a reason for it. And again, I will go back to our software here. And hang on once. Okay, that's all right. So these are the buy lines right here. So this was where typically we would see the institutions step in, but this was a panic drop right here, and you can see we made it down to the line in the sand right here, and that's for the bulls, because if they lose this, then we're coming down and testing these lows or breaking them. And if we break them, this is the longer term. And again, I'm just really doing this from this low to this high here, but I'm putting the cursor here. And you can see this is the buy zone right here. So if we take this out where this buy zone fails, then we're going to the 60-minute chart, and you can see we have 67.67, and then we're down at the 6,700. So if we go back to the chart, you can see this is why I believe we're actually going to come down there, because it's a retracement of this entire move on it, and it's really just shaking people out of the market right now. And we have a little more room before we get into the really, really oversold levels where it's going to be a good buying opportunity. So I wouldn't be panicking right now. It's not fun, especially with the quantum stocks. They've been getting crushed, but we're able to manage the portfolio where we're just taking little hits because we're making some pretty good trades on the index options. So again, full retracement coming down to the 67.86. I believe we're coming down to the 67.40 level, and I mean, I could be wrong. It's just something that makes sense when looking both at the software as well as where we are. Nothing really to show on the 15-minute chart here. We do have some buy signals, so if we get a bump up, I'm just going to go through this and I'll go on the regular charts as well that I normally show. So we have some bullish divergences, pretty oversold. So if we get a bounce, don't be surprised to see us testing that 68.80. Let's just skip that and go to IWM here. Oh, hang on one second. It didn't go. I got to move this a little bit more. Alrighty. Hang on one second. I'm just going to switch to these charts. It's a lot easier to navigate. So anyway, let's go up here. So basically, when we had this low to high, we were looking for the reversal to come up here. It actually went a little bit higher. And actually, watch this. I'll show you. Okay, sorry, I had to manually do it because it only looks forward. But from this high to this low, this was the panic line. That was this line right here. So this is where sellers should show up, typically right here. And if it gets above here, this is the panic line for the bears. And if they get above that, then we're probably heading up because this zone right here held. So now we'd be looking at these upside targets. But this was, from this high to this low, we came up, hit right into it, and then it was just all out selling. And it was the same exact thing that happened yesterday. We had this big gap up and then down, and we had another big, huge gap up, and it was all selling. So, right now, this is what the bears need to get through. I'll even go through the short term on it because it's pretty cool how to do. Okay, so from this low to this high, here was your buy zone. You can see buyers stepped in. They went through the strong buy zone and then the panic zone. That's where buyers stepped in, and you saw IWM go from 259 all the way up to 259.70. So good. It's a little day trade. That's all it was on that. But now if I go in here and now change it and say, show me 49 bars, now it's going to switch it. And now it's going to be resistance. So what the bulls have to do is this held right here. So seeing a bounce makes sense right here. And you can see this is where sellers should be waiting on this one right here. So that's going to be between the 260, 263. Panic line is going to be at the 260, 68. If they get above it, then most likely we're going above here. And then we're going to have to look at our next resistance level, and that's going to be 262 all the way up to 264. And if the bulls can get above this 265.54, then they're switching to the bullish because remember, from this low to this high, this was the buy zone. This is the panic buy. If they lose this, I'll show you the next target. But if the bulls can get above, say, the 65.54, then our upside targets are here. 260, say 269. We got 270.87, and then we have the 274.30. So that's that case. Now let's say the bears step in and they hold it down here. We're looking at downside targets of 256.87 and then 254. So let's now go to a longer term chart, and I'm putting a video together to show all this. But basically what it is, so if they lose this right here, this support, the next really area we'd be looking for is all the way down at the 250.50 and then down at the 245. So we're at a pretty important level right here for the IWM because, if they lose this, then we have, we're looking at a test of the 255, the lows that we made before this ramp. But really, if that doesn't hold, we're even down here, we're coming down to the 250.63 and then down to the 245. So we're at a critical time for the really the bulls here, because if they lose this, we're going to have a very quick drop down to these lows. But if they hold them, then we could see that rally that's going to take us all the way up into these levels here. So the same thing goes with the S&P here. Let me move this. You can see where this is the 60-minute chart. So on the 15-minute chart, we're at the line in the sand, and if the bears can take it through it, then this is the next support level we're looking at. It's a 67.62, and then down at the 6,700. What do the bulls have to do? First one they have to do is get through this level here, because here's our resistance from this high to this low. And you can see the sell zone is 68.50 up to 68.58. And then we have the line in the sand at the 68.67. If they lose that, if the bulls can push through it, then we're looking at a move coming up to the 6,900 and 6,930. Now, if they hold it down here, those are the targets on the downside. But if they can get above here, again, we're going to the 15-minute chart, and these are our upside targets, because we're going to be in that bull mood right there. So I still think that it's going to be very choppy. I wouldn't be surprised to see us coming down to the 67.80 level and really just staying within this range. But I'm going in open-minded. We do have some bullish divergences right here, so short-term bounce makes sense. 60-minute chart, we don't have anything. We didn't have any bearish divergences on the top up here either. So I'm going in open-minded. I think the bears have control until we see the bulls get above 6,900. Just be a little skeptical. I think once we get into next week, the 17th to the 20th, then it's going to be pretty much smooth sailing for the bulls. So let's see what plays out tomorrow. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you guys in the morning.